Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to Order of Battle Blitzkrieg, and in this video we are fighting the Battle of Dunkirk. We are driving on Dunkirk. We are 7 turns in. We forced the Belgian military to surrender, so we have several units up here in the north that we're fighting in Belgium that are kind of streaking through the Belgian frontier now that it is all surrendered to us, so that there's no enemy troops there. The only thing we have to worry about is there's some British troops in and around here somewhere that are now kind of cut off in Belgium, cut off from the channel. So we may have to worry about them kind of streaking in and cutting our supply lines or other things like that. But mainly I'm using all of these troops to swing as quickly as I can toward Dunkirk to cut off the Allied retreat so that we can bag the rest of their armies. You can see here that we are also advancing in the western part of the map on Dunkirk directly, fighting against the French, who are still fighting. There's a pretty strong defensive line here between us and Dunkirk itself, but thus far we've advanced through several towns and cities, destroying a bunch of French units, including, I think, the bulk of the French, if not all the French Air Force, and so far so good. But we're at the end of turn 7, so we're going to go ahead and end our turn and move forward to the next one. So here, there's a British unit up here, British air unit up there. Any aircraft are shooting at our recon plane. There's some French and British anti-aircraft in the Dunkirk area that will make our overwhelming TAC air perhaps less effective, as they really kind of shoot apart our recce's over there. You can see some French troops in the south that we nearly defeated and probably will crush next turn, and some additional British aircraft, looks like a Spitfire, arriving on the scene. You can see here we have a new secondary objective to destroy a Spitfire, 0 of 1. We have 12 British ground units to destroy, still haven't done any. Haven't captured Ostend by 15 turns, but we did force Belgium to surrender, and there's still 48 enemy units remaining on the map. Operation Dynamo. The British have given up hope of a successful breakout on Dunkirk Pocket, and they are putting an operation in place to evacuate to Britain. Channel control, new objective added, shoot down a Spitfire. So, as you can see here, we haven't quite reached Ostend yet. We're going to do that this turn. There you go. So we just took Ostend. With Ostend captured, air and naval reinforcements are released to interdict possible British evacuation efforts. So with that capture, we get a couple of patrol boats that we can move forward, torpedo boats, hopefully to deal with the British evacuation. And now we need to drive as quickly as we can on Dunkirk itself. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And hopefully we can get there in time before the whole British army evacuated, because we haven't destroyed any British troops yet, and if we're going to destroy 12 of them, we need to kind of get our act together and start, destroying some of them. There you go. We're driving through Belgium, which is nice because there's no enemy resistance at this point. Recce aircraft is over here, so we'll go ahead and move it over the channel. Yeah, I'm going to try and get those torpedo boats into position. I may fly my Stukas up there as well to try and interdict the actual operation here. I did just land several of my fighters in order to get them more fuel, but I'm also going to equip them up to 100% so they can be used against the Spitfires, because presumably that could be a challenge. The Spitfire is not an easy aircraft. Meanwhile, I'm going to land my Stukas here at this airport in order to ensure that they're all fueled up and ready to go for the final push, which is coming up here shortly, I think. Let's go ahead and drive north with this armored unit. We'll swing this infantry unit in alongside. Move some additional infantry north. Guys. Yeah, alright. Moving some additional troops there in the south. Meanwhile, this infantry unit's dead. Die, French, you did. So, we'll advance on this town. I'm assuming there's some additional French troops in this general area. That's kind of what these guys in the south are doing. These troops here are kind of mopping up and protecting our flank at the same time. North, I think we moved everybody, so at this point, we're about ready to go. So let's go ahead and advance to the next turn. Let's see here, British destroyers are arriving on the field. I'm assuming there will be some transports that are going to be British troops attempting to evacuate. There appears to be 3 British destroyers. And the British Spitfire will probably shoot down our recce. Almost, anyway. And I think there's still that might be a Hurricane. Why would they do that? Hurricane just landed on a British airfield. Maybe they needed more fuel or something. I don't know. I'm more than happy if they want. No, that's going to be an easy kill. I guess they did just cut off our troops there, but literally I'm just going to bombard you and drive up on there and destroy you guys without having to do anything with my air force. So there you go. British air unit destroyed. Thank you. Okay. Continue advancing here. A recce unit there. And again, sort of advancing in a holistic way on the front line of the enemy. Those guys had been cut off by the British unit landing there, I guess. Maybe that was the thing. Cutting us off from supply, but not really do them any good. Alright, so that northern pincer has moved. In the south, we'll take that town, reinforce those guys. Continue to... Alright, so get these guys off the runways. Tired German Air Force. Oh, apparently we can only take off 2 units at a time? Well, that's lame. Can our armor get here? Yes, they can. Alright, so we'll attack. Armor, infantry, or armor does do. At least that's the estimate. Alright, so shot that guy up, drove him back. Oh, wait. Advance there. Then move the artillery north. You have it. Alright, we'll move on these towns. Not that that really means much, I don't think, at all. Move our recce's back. Evacuation. Continue. That does appear to be a British infantry unit pulling out. I don't think there's any way for us to get to in time. But we'll end the turn, because I've moved everything, and the British will shoot down our recce aircraft. It'll be our first casualty here. Oh, no, they didn't destroy it quite yet. Spitfire is playing havoc with us, but thus far they haven't actually destroyed anything yet, so I'm okay with that. Assuming they're trying to move away from our patrol boat. I don't know why that French recon vehicle moved and then moved back. Oh shit, he's gonna border our goddamn... No! Just attacked our air units on the ground. Did it do 5 damage to all of them? Oh, Jesus. I don't think there's a way for me to get back. What all took off? BF-109s? Just the BF-109s? Great. Just great. Yeah. Well, I'll get 2 of the Stukas off, but one of them is going to get destroyed next turn. Probably. 2 off per turn, and now my tactical air is greatly weakened. At least I can cut this guy off from his supplies. I'll actually move by train. Apparently I can't attack him despite being on a train. Maybe he'll take the bait and attack our infantry. Really don't want to lose that unit. Okay, so there's still some French units here that we need to kind of mop up and destroy. Meanwhile, over here... Armored unit in Newport, I think. Vickers MG unit. Okay, so we're advancing on it. Alright, and then can our patrol boats get close enough? Not quite. Alright. Let's draw you guys south. Fly our fighters out this way. Trying to engage the British Spitfire. Not going to attack there by himself. He'll get killed. Same for that. I think we'll do better in both of those cases on the defensive. So we'll go ahead and end the turn. We had a couple of units that still could have moved, but basically their only options were sort of unappealing attacks. Meanwhile, the British aircraft apparently wants to attack our motor torpedo boats, and the infantry did not destroy our Stuka. Did a lot of damage to it, but didn't destroy it, so I'll take that result. British transport trying to escape. One unit already made it out. The French unit just cut off our infantry that I tried to cut off their infantry. Because that we did get in the air. The last one up. What do I want to do over here? I don't want to get anyone exposed and cut off. I feel like I'd be better off if my other troops are up north attacking Dunkirk. But at the end of the day, I've got to destroy all these units anyway, so maybe it doesn't matter. Artillery to pound them. Right, hit them that way, hit them this way. And then destroy them! Huzzah! Alright, so that unit's gone. That might be the first ground unit of the British we've actually destroyed. Not quite sure. We've got this one infantry unit here that we're going to move in close. We're going to switch over to torpedoes, and we're going to torpedo the bugger. Almost destroyed it. And hit it again with torpedoes. Hopefully we can finish it off with torpedoes. Yeah, we got him. Alright, so we sank a British ground unit at sea with our torpedoes. Very good. We'll fly our 109s out here to engage with the Spitfire here. One of them could reach, the other couldn't, so he's down to 6 health. We'll see if he tries to retreat now. Remember, one of our objectives is to destroy. So our recon car, back inside our lines and give it reinforcements. These guys are cut off. We'll go ahead and retreat a little bit. Guys, I don't know if any of these guys can change over to bombard them. They can't. That's the only unit we have left. Alright, so 24 more turns. The enemy just took back our airfield, but that's going to get them cut off and destroyed almost certainly, so not a terrible result. Meanwhile, our torpedo boats can't use their torpedoes for another 5 turns. When you do use that sort of special weapon, as we just did, you're limited to when you can reuse it. 2 British units destroyed, 1 of 2 transports destroyed. Alright, so let's use our battered Stukas against these guys. And there, we destroyed that French unit. Valiant counterattack, sir, but it was to no avail. Right, come back. Hopefully we can finish this other guy off next. Attack with our infantry here. Well, recon tells us what? I feel like recon units shouldn't be able to be ambushed. They can be, by the way. I feel like they shouldn't be. Alright, so we're advancing along the coastline here. Reinforcements. We'll move artillery. Artillery apparently cannot move. Okay, no counterattack here against our front here, which is kind of consolidated a bit there, so that's good. Alright, so the enemy actually didn't retreat. Well, we can use our 109s against some Spitfires here. Maybe we can finish it off. Not quite. But I don't think it is in a hex it can retreat from quite yet. Pull those over there. I'm not going to attack there. We'll probably get mauled next turn, but at least it won't be this turn. Both those suck. Okay. Go ahead and... I've got 3 infantry units being tied up down here. It's just kind of foolish. Maybe these guys will pull back toward Dunkirk and not attack our very vulnerable armored car. As you can see here, this British Spitfire is preparing to leave. Now, maybe it can retreat off the map. Calais captured. German forces captured the French city of Calais, located against the Channel coast. So essentially, that means the Dunkirk corridor is now cut off. Gained a new commander for shooting down this enemy Spitfire, meaning our secondary objective. Okay. Artillery's still not in range, so we'll move him forward. Alright, so just destroyed that. Very good. Indeed. Oh no! They're gonna get ambushed by the French. Oh god, they got mauled. Don't get destroyed next turn. Alright, boys, keep moving up. Let's see. This other flank. It. Here. Alright, so now that these guys are destroyed, we can go ahead and land our Stukas and reinforcements again. It sucks that we're gonna have to waste all that resources on. Alright, so we just destroyed that guy. On the flank there of Dunkirk. Go ahead and actually to the land. Get our Air Force back up to speed over the next couple of turns. Meanwhile, both these sort of pincers are kind of closing in on each other. Of course, the armored car unit. You guys will move in. There we go. So drove that French unit back. Finish them off next turn. And there's presumably a fair number of French units sort of still in this pocket over here. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do. The next 22 turns, we're obviously going to have to mop them up to some extent. British destroyers trying to deal with our torpedo boats, which is fine. I'd rather they do that than bombard our actual naval or ground units on shore. This guy might die. I haven't actually lost... I shouldn't say that. I don't think I've lost a unit yet. I'm sure that's about to change. Surprisingly, we didn't lose those guys, so we'll go ahead and read them. Bombard the enemy artillery. armored car there is kind of a shield. Advance that way. Alright, so now that our TAC air destroyed them, there are enemy anti-aircraft guns in the area, which we have to deal with. Guys are going to be full strength. Some of them won't. Alright, so we'll take the 2 full strength Stukas off next turn, and then the other 2 will keep repairing. And then once they're repaired, we'll take them off. Is that the only unit left? Got my air units on the edge of the map. Fly them this way to avoid the enemy anti-aircraft guns. And it's down here. Alright, so their mopping operations will continue. These guys still have no torpedoes, so pull them back that way. That's it. Alright, so we're about 15 turns through, and got about 20 more to go. So, a lot of mopping up still to do, certainly, but once Dunkirk falls, I think we'll be in really good position to deal with what's left. There's still over 20 enemy units. Even after Dunkirk falls, I think there'll still be over 20 enemy units left to deal with. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the way things are going. We'll just have to see how this shapes out here. All right, so I have 37 units left. There. 2 enemy anti-aircraft guns. Frankly, I want to deal with first. Forward. I don't think there's any enemy air units left either. You guys will take off, and hopefully next turn I'll finish off those anti-aircraft guns, so these guys will be able to operate with relative impunity. Speak or use words. Back. I'm back, and our 2 pincers have linked up. Huzzah! Alright, so we destroyed one of the enemy anti-aircraft batteries. Strength. Swing it. And... oh no, British infantry. Pull back. Guys, swing east. Deal with the eventual arrival of these other British troops that are trying to get to the channel. Reinforce these guys. Alright, so we used quite a few points these last few turns, reinforcing things. Interesting thing is we don't really have any transports to shoot at. We've destroyed one. But I don't have any enemy naval assets really to destroy. It looks like we've actually, by taking our advances, by linking up this pocket here, we've actually cut off all the remaining Allied forces from their bases of supply. You can see some of those units are yellow now, which means they're low on supply, some of the units that are still in those pockets. So that should make mopping up more easily accomplished. And we didn't leave any troops back here toward these ports, so I suppose the enemy could still break through and through sort of this rear area of ours and you know, affect a supply line that way. British armor coming up. Our recon car's probably not going to fare very well versus any of these units. So we're going to kind of have enemies on two sides. Thankfully, our Stukas are more or less all going to be back in action here. Wow, that's a strong British force coming up. Let's see what's next. All right. Oh. There you have it. So our armored car's dead, probably next turn. Don't really care about them, honestly. They are not a core unit. We don't get to carry them over. Meanwhile, I'll leave the capture of Dunkirk to these armored units over here. There does appear to be an enemy fighter over. Overland, something. Attack. Wow. Did pretty well against us there. Lucas can't quite reach. That's okay. Alright, so attacking these cut-off French units here to further destroy the enemy. Still no torpedoes available to us. We'll go ahead and shoot at these guys on. Oh wow, actually did some damage. And then we'll advance. Flank. Forward. I don't really feel like that unit. So we'll give it one more turn, see how it all unfolds. You guys get supply again from somewhere? I think there's a French unit driving in here toward the coast, toward Brugge. You can see there's a path. Someone's chasing that way. There's the transport. We need to destroy it. I'm not going to have enough firepower to do it by sea. I'm going to have to pull some of those Stukas up there, although it looks like the French Air Force there. Challenge. 32 enemy ground units left. Mopping up. The enemy's in full retreat, attempting to evacuate from the Channel Coast beaches. After clearing the final pockets of resistance, the Dunkirk region will be secured. So we can see here that there's actually a long effort to, or a long strung out line of troops that have kind of moved. See, this is the dumb thing. Like, they're way the fuck over here. Okay. Great. Alright, that guy's destroyed. Just the torpedoes. Reach them, they can't. Oh. Let's do this. And up north, they should be able to get to it next turn. Should only need one up there. Meanwhile, apparently these British have supply from somewhere. So we can't get to anything. Attack it. You guys are almost out of fuel, so they're guys gonna as well. So aircraft will be at the mercy of the enemy. Dunkirk is ours. That French unit's destroyed, so is this one. Pull him back, just give him cheap reinforcements. Alright. So, guess we've just got to try and close with the enemy and deal them a savage blow that they can't recover from. Meanwhile, in the south, guys apparently got supply somehow. Alright, so those units are finished. Meanwhile, okay, all of the enemy bunkers are destroyed, so that makes things easier, I think. I'm assuming that's part of the retreat. We'll use our 1 Stuka against this remaining transport to get that secondary objective of destroying at least 2 enemy transports. Our last motor torpedo boat was just destroyed. The enemy now has 2 air units, as far as I can tell. This is great. I don't know where those guys came from. No, but they still say out of supply. I'm so confused. Somehow their supply line just went away. Okay. They're not driving to the Channel Coast anymore? I'm not really sure. Okay, there they go. This pocket of enemy resistance in our rear that we're gonna have to, like, race behind and try and fight. Hopefully without getting ourselves cut off from supply. That's the other thing. They've clearly cut our supply line east. Now we're relying on the supply line from the south. I think is a little bit more secure, but... Just show me every one of these units moving. Can we just move forward? Alright. Okay, so we've destroyed 5 of 12 British units. We've destroyed 1 Spitfire. I think we'll destroy our second transport, so we should get all the secondaries and hopefully the primary objective as well in this particular fight. But that will be a fight for another time. This is part 2 of the Battle of Dunkirk. So far things are going well. Dunkirk has fallen, and the enemy is largely pocketed, so we'll just have to finish them off, or at least that's got to be our goal. We will deal with that in our next video, however. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. As always, leave your thoughts below, and until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching, and I'm out.